On the news this afternoon, President Buhari leaves for London medical checkup. Senate President Ahmed Lawan defends borrowing by federal government. Governor Nyesom Wike currently commissioning Oginigba Parboard Road. On the foreign scene, rescuers' search for survivors continue following building collapse in Miami. I am Ifeanyi Andrew. President Muhammadu Buhari has left Nigeria for London on a scheduled medical trip. A statement from his office says the president is expected back in the country by the second week of July. This is the second time this year that he will be traveling to see doctors in the UK capital. Meanwhile, the Association of Resident Doctors in the country have given the federal government a 4 weeks ultimatum to implement agreement reached with the union or expect a strike. The chairman of the association, Uyilawa Okwayesui, stated this during a press conference yesterday. He listed some demands of the doctors.
The NEC unanimously resolved that the total and indefinite strike embarked upon by members on the 1st of April 2021 should remain suspended, and the federal government and state be given 4 weeks to resolve all impending issues as stated otherwise. They urge the federal government to be more serious by coming up with the desired amount of hazard allowance in the upcoming meeting on the 6th of July. All salary shortfalls and minimum wage consequential adjustment arrears must be paid to all affected members. The NEC demand that all the state governors yet to adopt the minimum wage adjusted 2021 should do so as a matter of urgency. All state governors yet to domesticate the Military Training Act should immediately do so in order to maintain industrial harmony with our members under their employee.
The governorship candidate of APGA ahead of the November governorship election, Charles Soludo, says the call by some members of the party discrediting his emergence as winner of the election is not correct. Speaking on a television interview, Mr. Soludo stated that angry members of the party are only trying to use INEC to discredit his victory.
The same INEC that you have said, you mentioned wrote the letter on the 18th. On the 23rd, 2 days ago, the same INEC sent a five-man team to monitor the primaries of APGA. I think the lawyers, the party has clarified that with INEC. And I believe under the leadership of Professor Mahmoud, all these guys from all over trying to see if they can use INEC to achieve their own hatchet job. I'm sure INEC is beyond that, under the leadership of Professor Yakubu.
A former national chairman of APGA, Victor Umer, says the election that produced Charles Soludo as winner of the party's primary was free and fair. Speaking this morning in a television interview, Senator Umer said due process was followed building up to the election.
Completely free and fair. All the aspirants that took part in the primary, 4 of them that were cleared to go to that stage, they were all there, well seated, voted, and when everything was done and result declared, they were all satisfied and they left. APGA is a party that is a stickler to due process. I was chairman of this party for 10 years. I was satisfied that all the processes were followed leading to that final day of selecting the candidates. And I participated fully and voted.
Meanwhile, INEC's National Commissioner for Information and Voters Communication, Festus Okoye, clarified the role of INEC in the party's primary.
They stated that they are going to conduct their state congress on the 23rd day of June 2021. The Independent National Electoral Commission monitored that particular congress where this nomination was made. However, what the commission said was that the commission received 2 letters, one letter from a legal practitioner and also wrote one letter to the national chairman of APGA. And we said we didn't monitor that particular delegates congress and we don't have any report to give. And as a regulatory body, the commission has the right, we have the right to draw the attention of that particular political party to such an infraction. And that was exactly what we did. There was nowhere in that particular letter where the commission said that APGA will not participate in the November 6th governorship election.
Reacting to questions on who the authentic APGA chairman is, Mr. Okoye had this to say.
There is no issue relating to who the commission recognizes. If you go to our website and on our files, the national chairman of APGA is Victor Uye, and the national secretary, according to what we have in our files, is Labram Maku. So there's no issue relating to the leadership of the political party. In fact, it was the same national chairman of APGA, Victor Uye, that the commission made available to from EC9 and from EC9B relating to the personal particulars of candidates and relating to the names of of nominated candidates. So there is no issue relating to the leadership of APGA, and we are not aware if there's any challenge, and we are not aware whether any other thing has happened.
The National Chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, says the Commission is concerned for the safety of its staff ahead of elections in Anambra State later this year, following recent attacks on its offices across the nation. Speaking to newsmen, Professor Yakubu mentioned some steps that will be taken by the Commission to ensure safety of all staff.
Recent attacks on our offices across the country. In most cases, these offices have been burnt or vandalized. Although the attacks have subsided, the Commission is still deeply worried about the threat they could pose to registrants and our staff. The Commission has decided to modify the schedule for the CVR as follows. Number 1, commencement of online registration only, Monday, 28th June 2021. Number 2, commencement of scheduled appointments for online registrants, 19th July 2021. And finally, commencement of physical CVR at all other registration centers. The date is to be determined based on evaluation of the security situation.
The police in Lagos have arrested a university student accused of killing Usifo Ataga, the chief executive officer of Super TV. Ataga was said to have been found in a pool of his blood after he was stabbed to death at a house where he reportedly lodges in Lekki area of Lagos. The 21-year-old Chidima Ojukwu, a 300-level mass communication student of the University of Lagos, UNILAG, spoke to reporters when she was paraded at the Lagos State Police Command Headquarters in Ikeja on Thursday. She said she stabbed him thrice.
It was midnight, so we have drank and we have smoked SK loud, so I was already sleepy. And then when it came on sponge, it was violent about it. He locked the door. I didn't know where he kept the key. When I get to the door, he would draw me back, and that was what happened. The first one was twice on the neck side. And then when he dragged the knife from me, he managed to slice my hand. And then as he was holding it, the knife broke, so it slipped off from his hand. But then it was now weak, and then he fell on the floor. Well, while he was lying there, I changed, and then I looked for the key for where he ate it, and I left it home.
The Commissioner of Police in the state, Hakeem Odumosu, told reporters that the owner of the rented apartment where the death occurred has been arrested and held in police detention. Odumosu added that Ataga's bank account has been blocked to prevent further withdrawals by those taking advantage of his untimely death. Chidima withdrew some money from his account after his death. Wife of the Rivers State Commissioner of Police, Chimelum Ebuka, is asking for more barracks to accommodate police officers' wives, especially those whose husbands have become victims of attacks. She spoke while commending the wife of the Inspector General of Police, Hajara Usman Alkali Baba, who was on a 5-day visit to Rivers State.
The Rivers State Forward has over the years tried to uphold the objectives of this noble association by training women through empowerment programs, purchasing, distributing of hand tools, provision of basic self-help projects like sinking of boreholes, public utilities, provision of accommodations for helpless members, to mention just a few. Under my watch, we have continued in this trend by taking a tour of some of the barracks in Rivers State Command to enable us ascertain where best to channel our efforts and to keep into present administrative program of a sound mind.
Our correspondent reports that the wives of the police officers who died during the NSAS attack and 9 personnel who were recently killed by gunmen in the state were empowered by the wife of the IGP, while 4 senior female police officers were given awards for their outstanding performance. The commissioning of public breweries on Oginigba Road is underway. The brief ceremony has dignitaries and government officials, including members of Oginigba community, in attendance. Still ahead, Vice President Professor Yemi Oshibajo says federal government intensifying response to country's security challenges. Stay tuned.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
The United Nations Development Programme UNDP has projected that over 1.1 million persons are likely to die from the crisis in the northeast region of Nigeria. UNDP Country Director Mohammed Yahaya gave the figure in a report on the impact of the insurgency in the region presented in a virtual meeting on Thursday in Abuja. According to Yahaya, at least 35,000 people have been killed directly by the insurgents, while 350,000 have died indirectly as a result of the crisis.
Each direct deaths in the northeast, 9 others die indirectly. Essentially, what you see in the direct death does not show the indirect death of each individual's death. So, for example, here we say 1 in 9. This is what the report finds out in terms of direct deaths. And if everything remains constant, by 2030, more than 1.1 million northeastern Nigerians will have been directly or indirectly lost their lives because of the conflict.
He says the conflict has kept almost 2 million children in the northeast out of school.
1.8 million children who will have been enrolled in school today are not because of the conflict. 81% of people in Yobe, 64% of people in Borno, and 60% in people in Adamawa suffer from multidimensional poverty, which is directly related to continued insurgency.
However, Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo says the federal government is intensifying its response to the nation's security challenges. Professor Osinbajo stated this when he received guests at the presidential villa in Abuja. He listed the recent supplementary budget sent to the National Assembly on enhancing the capacity of the military and other security agencies as part of the effort. JAMB has released results of candidates who sat for the 2021 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination between last Saturday and Tuesday. The board made this known in a statement by its head of media, Fabian Benjamin. It said the results for subsequent days will be released daily. In business, Senate President Ahmed Lawan has explained why the Nigerian government will continue to borrow to fund critical infrastructure in the country. Speaking to State House correspondents on Thursday after meeting with the president, he said borrowing responsibly is the only way out for now. Nigeria is poor.
We will not be frivolous, and options are really very limited as a country. Nigeria is poor. We shouldn't deceive ourselves. Nigeria is not rich. Given the circumstances we live in, given the challenges we have, our resources are so low, our revenues are so low. You cannot, in my view and judgment, tax Nigerians further for you to raise the money for infrastructure development. Other countries do that, but the only option left is for us to borrow.
In entertainment, Nigerian singer and producer Peter Okoye, popularly known as Mr. P, has been awarded with an honorary doctorate degree from SK University in Benin Republic. Mr. P, a member of the now defunct P Square, took to his Instagram to show off his degree certificate. The singer shared pictures and video of himself adorned in a graduation gown holding his glass-framed certificate. In sports, members of the Super Eagles who won the 1994 Africa Cup of Nations in Tunisia have shared their excitement after President Buhari gave them 3-bedroom apartments 27 years after their triumph. A statement by the president's aide, Garba Shehu, said President Buhari has approved allocation of the apartments.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
Rescuers are desperately searching for any survivors trapped in the rubble of a collapsed 12-story residential building north of Miami. Officials say at least one person has been killed and 99 are still missing. Search teams have been working around the clock and have reported hearing people banging beneath the debris. What caused the 40-year-old building to collapse yesterday morning remains unknown. On the news this afternoon, you heard that President Muhammadu Buhari is left for London for a medical checkup. Senate President Ahmed Lawan has defended borrowing by the federal government. Governor Nyesom Wike is currently commissioning Parboard Brewery's Oginigba Road in Rivers State. On the foreign scene, you heard that rescuers are still searching for survivors following building collapse in Miami. The news was edited by Choma Zenwafo. Contact our newsroom at 0818-900-0017. Cloudy weather expected in Port Harcourt this afternoon. My name is Efemi Andrew. Thank you for listening.